The silence in our home had become a physical entity, a third person in our marriage. It sat between my wife, Chloe, and me at the dinner table, rode with us in the car, and lay in the vast, cold expanse of our king-sized bed. For 6 months, the woman I had loved for a decade had been treating me like a ghost, a piece of furniture she navigated around. It started subtly. A missed kiss goodbye, a phone call cut short, a hand pulled away from mine. I told myself it was stress. Her new marketing job was demanding, and I was working long hours trying to get my own architecture firm off the ground. "We're just tired, Liam," I'd whisper to myself at night, staring at her back. But tired didn't explain the way her phone was now permanently attached to her hand, angled away from me with a secrecy that felt like a slap. Tired didn't explain the vague, clipped answers to simple questions. "How was your day?" would be met with a "fine." "Who was that on the phone?" would earn me a sharp "just work." She had built a fortress around herself, and I was on the outside, begging for a way in. The woman who once shared every thought, every silly meme, every dream with me, now offered only monosyllabic walls. She had shut me down completely. The breaking point came on a Tuesday. I'd come home early, clutching a bouquet of her favorite peonies, hoping to break through the frost. I found her in the living room laughing. It was a sound I hadn't heard in months, a genuine, throaty laugh that used to be the soundtrack of my life. But she wasn't laughing with me. She was on the phone, her back to the door. "Oh, you're terrible," she giggled. "I can't wait either." The warmth in her voice was a dagger in my chest. When she finally turned and saw me, the smile vanished, replaced by a familiar mask of annoyance. "You're home early," she said, her tone accusing. She quickly ended the call. "Who was that?" I asked, my voice tighter than I intended. "Marcus," she said, naming my best friend and business partner, "just confirming details for the Henderson project." But the laugh hadn't been a Henderson project laugh. It was intimate. It was secret. That night, I confronted her. I laid my heart bare, telling her how lost and alone I felt. I begged her to tell me what was wrong, what I had done. Her response was chillingly effective. Tears welled in her eyes, but they weren't tears of sorrow. They were tears of strategy. "Is that what you think of me, Liam?" she whispered, her voice trembling with manufactured hurt. "That I'd ever betray you, after everything? Maybe if you weren't so buried in your work, you'd see that I'm just stressed. You're being paranoid." She was a master artist, painting me as the villain, the paranoid, neglectful husband. I almost believed her. I went to bed that night hating myself, apologizing for my insecurity. But a seed of doubt had been planted, and it refused to stop growing. I needed proof. I hated the man I was becoming, the one who would consider snooping, but her gaslighting had pushed me to the edge. I remembered our old family laptop, the one she sometimes used. Our devices were synced to the same cloud account. With a trembling hand and a stomach churning with guilt and fear, I logged in and accessed the message archives. My heart hammered against my ribs as I scrolled. And then I saw it, a thread of deleted messages between her and Marcus, the ones she thought were gone forever. It wasn't just an affair, it was a parallel life. They weren't just sneaking around, they were building a future. They mocked me in their texts. My habits, my gifts, my love for her, all were fodder for their private jokes. "Liam's planning our anniversary party next month," one of her texts read. "It's almost cute how clueless he is." Marcus's reply, "Let him. It'll be a good farewell tour. Soon it'll be our party." The world tilted on its axis. My best friend, the man who stood beside me at my wedding, the man I trusted with my business and my life, was systematically dismantling it with my wife. The sheer depth of the betrayal stole the air from my lungs. I sat there for hours, the screen's glow illuminating my silent tears. The grief was a physical weight, crushing me. But beneath the grief, something else began to harden, a cold, diamond-hard resolve. They thought I was clueless. They thought I was weak. They were about to find out how wrong they were. Our 10th anniversary party, the one she thought was cute,
It would be their farewell tour, just not in the way they imagined. For the next 3 weeks, I became the perfect husband. I was attentive, loving, and apologetic for my paranoia. I watched the relief on Chloe's face, the smug confidence in Marcus's eyes when we all met for planning meetings. They thought they had won. I let them. I meticulously planned the party, inviting all our friends, our families, everyone who had witnessed our life together. I curated a slideshow of our 10 years together, a painful journey through a life that was now a lie. The night of the party arrived. Our backyard was beautiful, strung with fairy lights, filled with the laughter of people we loved. Chloe was radiant in a new dress, no doubt one she'd bought for her new life. Marcus was there, a congratulatory arm around my shoulder, calling me brother. The hypocrisy was nauseating. I played my part, smiling, shaking hands, accepting congratulations on a decade of love. Then came the time for toasts. Marcus gave a glowing speech about our friendship and my luck in having a wife like Chloe. People applauded. Then Chloe stood, her eyes shining, and spoke of our journey, her voice dripping with a sincerity that made my blood run cold. Finally, it was my turn. I walked to the microphone, my heart a steady, slow drum. I could feel their eyes on me, Chloe's proud gaze, Marcus's smug smirk. "Thank you all for coming," I began, my voice clear and calm. 10 years.
It's a long time. It's a testament to love, to sacrifice, and to trust. I paused, letting the word hang in the air. I've learned so much in the last decade, especially in the last few months. I've learned that the people you think you know best can be the biggest strangers. And I've learned that secrets have a way of coming to light. I saw a flicker of confusion in Chloe's eyes. Marcus shifted uncomfortably. "I put together a little slideshow of our memories," I continued, gesturing to the large projector screen behind me. "But I decided to add a few more recent memories, a little tribute to a different kind of partnership." With a click of the remote in my hand, the screen changed. It was no longer photos of our wedding or vacations. It was screenshots, text messages, their messages. Black and white, undeniable, projected for everyone to see. I can't wait either. It's almost cute how clueless he is. Let him. It'll be a good farewell tour. A collective gasp sucked the air out of the yard. The laughter died, replaced by a tomb-like silence. I didn't look at the screen. I looked at them. Chloe's face had drained of all color, her mouth agape in a silent scream of horror. Marcus looked like he'd been turned to stone, his drink slipping from his numb fingers and shattering on the patio. I let the silence stretch, letting every parent, every sibling, every friend read the vile words. Then I spoke into the microphone one last time, my voice devoid of anger, filled only with a profound, desolate finality. "So I'd like to make one final toast. To Chloe and Marcus, may you have the life you've been planning behind my back. You've certainly earned it." I placed the microphone down. I took off my wedding ring, the simple gold band I'd worn for 10 years, and set it gently on the table. I didn't shout. I didn't cry. I simply turned and walked through the stunned crowd. I heard my mother call my name, a broken sob in her voice, but I didn't stop. I walked out of the yard, out of the house, out of the life that had been a lie. As I got into my packed car and drove away into the night, I didn't feel broken. I felt a strange, terrifying, and exhilarating sense of peace. They hadn't just shut me down, they had set me free.